The first time I saw her, I thought my mind was breaking. Not because she was monstrous, but because she was beautiful in a way that made no sense. Her features were unmistakably feminine, yet carried an unearthly symmetry. Her skin had a faint iridescence, shimmering like moonlight reflected on water. And her eyes, vast liquid pools of shifting colors, seemed to know more about me in that single instant than I had learned about myself in 30 years. Her words, however, were what nearly stopped my heart. What must I do to belong to you, human? The beginning, arrival. It started months earlier, when I was deployed to the research outpost on Europa, Jupiter's icy moon. Officially, we were there for subsurface ocean studies, drilling through kilometers of ice to test for microbial life. Unofficially, every one of us suspected that Earth's governments had long known Europa wasn't as lifeless as our textbooks had claimed. I was a systems engineer. My work was mostly maintenance, ensuring that the drilling rigs didn't seize up, that power was distributed evenly, that the submersibles didn't freeze in their own tracks once they were dropped into the black oceans below. But one night, as I was running diagnostics, one of the subs pinged back anomalous readings. Not geological anomalies. Biological. First I thought it was contamination. But when the sonar mapping finished rendering, the outlines were undeniable. Architecture. Delicate latticework tunnels. Chamber-like hollow structures that could not have formed naturally. 2 weeks later, we weren't drilling anymore. We were excavating. That was when the accidents began. 2 technicians disappeared during a maintenance walk under the ice dome. Their comms went dark, and when search teams went looking, they found only their discarded helmets. Helmets whose visors were etched with strange crystalline patterns, as if frost itself had grown deliberate designs across them. Some of the crew wanted to leave immediately, but the commanding officer insisted on pushing forward. Humanity had invested trillions into this mission, and Earth wasn't about to give up at the first hint of something extraordinary. Then she appeared. I had been in the main hangar, recalibrating a drone, when a figure stepped out from the shadows near the ice tunnel entrance. She walked with a grace that was almost too smooth, too synchronized with the subtle hum of the station. And though every rational part of me screamed that this was impossible, that no human could survive the Europan cold without a suit, she approached as though the environment bent itself to accommodate her. Her voice bypassed my comm system, bypassed the translator nodes, and resonated directly in my mind. What must I do to belong to you, human? I was stunned into silence. I hadn't even asked who she was. The middle, learning her world. Her name, at least the closest translation, was Aria. Over the weeks that followed, she revealed pieces of her story. She was not an alien in the sense of being foreign to Europa. She and her people had lived beneath the ice for millennia, born from organisms that once thrived in Jupiter's radiation-rich currents. Where we had evolved flesh and bone, they had evolved symbiotic crystalline lattices in their bodies, structures that could both conduct energy and hold memory. In essence, they were living beings and living archives at once. To touch one of them was to risk having your thoughts mirrored back into your mind, refracted, multiplied, endlessly deepened. Your kind once belonged here, she told me one night, her eyes catching the glow of Europa's geothermal vents. Long ago, your ancestors brushed against the edges of our seas. They touched us and recoiled. They were not ready. They fled to your Earth, leaving us behind. I should have dismissed it as delusion. Yet the conviction in her tone made me wonder. Had humanity forgotten more than it remembered? The rest of the crew didn't know I was speaking with her. She never revealed herself to them. Instead, she came only to me, always with that same question burning in her gaze. What must I do to belong to you? First I thought it was a mistranslation. Perhaps she meant belong with you, as in ally with your species. But the way she said it, so personal, so intimate, suggested otherwise. Why me? I asked once, my voice almost trembling. Because you see me, she answered. The others look and shrink away. But you hold your fear inside and still listen. Her people, she explained, were on the brink of extinction. The warming shifts in Europa's under-ice oceans had destabilized their habitats. Energy they once harvested from deep thermal vents was dwindling. For the first time in thousands of years, they faced decline. Belonging, she said, is survival. To us, it means finding resonance with another. To connect deeply enough that memory and self become intertwined. If I belong to you, you will belong to me. Neither of us will vanish, even if our bodies fail. We will carry each other. The concept frightened me. It wasn't mere companionship. It was fusion. And yet part of me, lonely, hollowed out by years of isolation in deep space, ached for it. Escalation, the choice. The situation on the outpost worsened. The structures we'd uncovered beneath the ice began to destabilize as the drilling compromised their foundations. Strange crystalline growths started to bloom across our machinery, sometimes fusing with circuits, sometimes devouring them. The commander accused sabotage. Some whispered it was an infection, that Europa itself was trying to assimilate us. But I knew the truth. Area's people were trying to reach us, trying to survive the only way they knew how. By belonging. By entwining themselves into the systems around them. One evening alarms blared. A reactor core was overheating, threatening to melt through the facility and collapse the entire dome. I rushed to the control room, only to find crystalline webs growing across the panels, refracting light in dizzying patterns. The systems were already half unresponsive. And then, in the center of it all, Area appeared. You must decide, she told me, her voice filling the chamber. Let me belong to you, and I can save this place. Refuse, and the sea will take it all. Her hands, delicate and shimmering, reached out, not for the controls but for me. Froze. Accepting her offer meant more than survival. It meant intertwining my mind with hers forever. My memories, my fears, my secrets laid bare. And in return, I would inherit fragments of her people, of an alien existence I could barely comprehend. Could I trust her? Could I risk losing myself? Yet in her eyes, I saw no malice. Only desperation. And something else. Something almost like love. I placed my hand in hers. The fusion. The moment contact was made, my vision fractured. My body still stood in the control room, but my mind was plunged into a sea of light. Thousands of voices whispered at once, not chaotic but harmonized, like a choir singing across dimensions. Memories that weren't mine flooded me. Area's first emergence from the crystal womb, the dance of her people beneath radiant vents, the long centuries of watching Earth's skies from afar. And in return, my own memories spilled into her. Childhood laughter, heartbreak, the silence of Earth's deserts, the ache of space loneliness.